This is a super powerful capsule developed by humans. It contains a special gas. When an ordinary person inhales it, his body will be instantly strengthened. With one hand, he can crush a Ruger P-08 pistol. This German general, in order to invade other countries, asks Dr. Poison to study a biochemical weapon. This gas bomb is very lethal. Once it enters the battlefield, millions of people will die, and all of this happens to be seen by a soldier. In order to prevent the disaster from happening, he secretly took Dr. Poison to make a lab notebook and flew in here. As soon as the camera turned, a beautiful woman was bathing in the sun. Suddenly, the plane went through the barrier and broke in here. The launcher caught fire instantly and fell into the sea. The soldier was about to be drowned. Fortunately, the beautiful woman saved him, but the danger was not eliminated. The soldiers who were chasing him also entered the barrier at this time. The handsome man in front of him was surprised and happy, because he had never seen a man before. It turns out that this is a place separate from the world. It's a paradise island where all men dream of coming. There are only women here. Not only are they not old, but they are all brave and good at fighting. They are the Amazons created by God Zeus himself with mud. This little girl is called Diana. She is the illegitimate daughter of King Zeus and Queen Diana. She has been training with everyone since she was a child. At the age of 7, she mastered all kinds of combat skills. When she grew up, the power in her body also began to awaken. She soon defeated the second in command with the highest combat rate on the Paradise Island. The first time she saw a man, Diana was a little confused. Before she could figure out what was going on, a large number of soldiers broke in. The Amazons found the invaders and immediately entered combat mode. The battle was fierce. At first, the Amazons were in the lead, but the enemy used guns, and they used cold weapons. Once the battle was head-on, they were immediately killed. Although the Amazons have a strong combat power, it is also difficult to resist the advanced weapons of God Zeus. After a hard battle, the Amazons finally won and paid a heavy price. The queen immediately interrogated the man, but he refused to say anything, so they used the Eye of Truth. The man trapped in the Eye of Truth could only tell the truth. The man's name was Steve. He was a soldier spy. Then, he also revealed the conspiracy of God Zeus to study the gas bomb. Diana thought that God Zeus, Aries, was the mastermind of the war. Because Aries was Zeus' son, he didn't like humans, so he often started wars between humans. To stop all this, Diana decided to kill God Zeus, but her mother didn't agree with her plan, because God Zeus' strength was too strong. However, that night, Diana, regardless of her mother's persuasion, broke into the Amazons' temple, took away the 40-meter-long Eye of Truth, and the sword of God Zeus given to the Amazons. Then she and Steve set out for the road of surrender. After the man pulled the trigger and shot, the bullet was blocked by the woman's hand. This operation stunned the other killers. They didn't know that this woman was Diana, the magical heroine. Her arm had a high level of defense and could block all physical damage. This morning, Diana followed Steve to the human world. On the street, her long legs were very conspicuous. In order not to attract attention, Steve took her to change clothes. After changing clothes, she was completely blind. She was beautiful and looked good in everything. This was the first time she came into contact with civilized society. Diana was curious about everything. She was very satisfied. On the other side, although there was no notebook, after many experiments, Dr. still made the gas bomb. The killing power was even stronger than before. At the same time, Steve gave the notebook of Dr. due to the superior, but this couldn't stop the war. Diana asked Steve to take her to the battlefield because she believed that the god of war, Aries, was there. Only by eliminating him would the war stop. Steve couldn't beat him and agreed to come down, but as soon as they left the base camp, they were surrounded by German killers, but they were not Diana's opponents at all. Soon they were all killed. On the way to the front line, they could see the wounded and the wandering civilians everywhere. Seeing the cruelty of war, Diana became more determined to kill the god of war, Aries. Soon they came to the front line and learned that the enemy had captured many civilians. Diana, regardless of everyone's persuasion, rushed directly to the battlefield. Every bullet shot by the enemy was easily dispelled by her, and even the powerful cannon couldn't get into her body. She, who was unarmed on the battlefield, soon attracted all the enemy's firepower. Seeing this, Steve immediately joined the battle with his soldiers. In less than 5 minutes, they broke through the enemy's defense line. After entering the occupied town, Diana directly turned over the enemy's tank. Just when they thought the battle was over, a civilian fell again. It turned out that there were several snipers on the top of the tower. With the help of Steve and others, Diana completed the last wave of output. The town that the Allies couldn't occupy for a month, Diana only spent 10 minutes. That's the night when Diana and Steve wiped out the flames of love. The lights in the room kept lighting up until dawn. What surprised the soldiers was that as soon as they left, the German army fired gas bombs at the town. When they went back, all the civilians died. Now Diana was completely angry. She killed the German army in a single shot. She thought the German commander was the incarnation of the god of war, Aries. After killing all the guards outside, she saw the German commander. The Japanese didn't say anything and shot him directly. This is a kind of magical capsule. Ordinary people only need to use one to get strong power in an instant. The commander suddenly exploded and beat Diana. But after all, she is a half-god. No matter how many capsules you eat, it's just immortal. The commander couldn't beat her and wanted to run away. Diana immediately pulled her back with her eyes closed and gave her a fatal blow. This time, Diana saw a German congressman. It turned out that he was the incarnation of the god of war, Aries. Diana wanted to kill him, but the sword of the god of war turned into ashes in an instant. Aries' strength was far beyond her imagination. He told Diana, "I just provided humans with the inspiration to make weapons, and I didn't let them start a war. They killed each other because they were too greedy in their hearts. This is the nature of humans." At the same time, he also invited Diana to destroy human civilization with her, turning the earth back to the way it should be, giving the world a peace of mind. Although he was telling the truth, Diana still refused him. Since they disagreed, let's start a war. The god of war, Aries, is really famous. With just one hand, he beat Diana to a pulp. After the death of the god of war, the war was over soon. Diana saved the world but lost her beloved one. But she didn't forget what Steve said. So in the end, she didn't go back to Paradise Island, but chose to stay in the human world and continue to maintain world peace. Since then, she has become a superhero, the magical heroine, Diana.